think that's important that although I'm looking at it and I'm postulating, this and that, but when you think back of what Chalice have found, and they've obviously been working earnestly trying to understand Julimar, and they're trying to find something similar. I think the fact that they've come in and done geochem, which is as close to the truth machine, the drill machine, as we can, and then over printing the old geophysics, and they picked two targets where we think looks really, really encouraging from what we've just discussed, right? The dilational zones and all this kind of stuff. And then you say, oh, these guys have done it before and they've seen it, they've seen more, and they've picked this area. You sort of say, hey, maybe they're onto something, right? In terms of possibilities.
Well, look, let's I was thinking about when you were talking just then. I'm going, we've got a 20-kilometre long target. Julimar, well, now it's 26, was 20 before. They found in the area that wasn't a state forest, the bottom part. So they got onto the best part quickly because of access issues. The question is that the best part? Is there more? Here, in the case of Thor, we've got access to the whole lot. So we've got to broaden a much bigger target area. So, you can't sort of, if you've got many targets, where do you focus? It'll take a little bit longer to unravel. Venture spent a couple of $1 million, so we've had a good start. They've added to that, so the airborne EM and ground EM, remember the EM is only effective for essentially half the target, and maybe the EM will work outside those power lines. So that power line's like right next to, if you look at it, figure 2, I think it is, power line does this, the dilational zone's here, and then the power line does that, and then there's the road with the power lines, and there's actually gaps with the data's completely up. In fact, all those anomalies are just a power line anyway, they're coming up, so realistically we should just ignore that anyway. So that means that that ultramorphic unit, there's a gap there, there's an area there which can get ground, so you can do some ground EM on that, or maybe, so we never did airborne because we never owned that tenement. In fact, the interesting part is we pegged that tenement when Julimar was discovered. While the rest of the world was doing neurology, and obviously it's still debatable whether the ground there, because actually they pegged a big halo around their ground package before. So while they were doing that, we went, well, we got what Chalice later called the Julimar lookalike, that mag feature. We went, we noticed some tau occurrences there. We noticed some ultramorphic there. Why don't we just peg that? And then that's come further to light with what work Chalice have just produced. But if you think about, if all of a sudden you're confined to this little area here, you focus on that and you find something, great. But we're kind of like spread thinly along 20 kilometres, still generating that data set, and maybe focusing, maybe we need to maybe we just broaden our focus here. We're not saying that the bottom part or southern part of the anomaly is the best part. This might be a different beast. But, and there'll be more of these along that western corridor. Which, of the Yilgarn on the edge, right in contact, which they'll pop up, and they're not all going to be the same as Julimar, and some will be different, some will have some similarities, some will be completely different. I think, Chalice have got to make an election to go forward, and they'll have those sort of things to think about. We're reasonably confident they'll continue to go forward, and if that's the case, then if another $2.5 million gets spent on infill or EM or expanded geochem, then all of a sudden, we could be drilling other nickel copper PGE targets, in the years to come, which may still yield significant discovery. I won't say it's a Julimar discovery, because we haven't drilled a hole in it yet, but it's certainly looking very encouraging, and it's, and it continues to deliver new fertile areas, and I think it's really opened up, it's really ripped the blinkers off now, that northern area, which we were looking for that lead, and now we've got it.